And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big Wednesday. We only got one lone playoff game on today. A little unfortunate. You know, having two on every night is great, but only one. Nuggets Suns game 2. We'll see how that one's going to play out, so we'll break down that game, preview it, and do our moneymaker for that. Obviously, breaking down the NBA from last night. Some good games on, but man, oh man, did we miss the mark just a tad on those ones. And then, as always, breaking down the stories of the day, and as well, what we're going to probably be doing for the next couple of days here is, Aaron Rodgers not showing up to mandatory mini camps and is kind of officially holding out. And, I kind of want to go back to that Super Bowl run that he had. Can we even give Aaron Rodgers credit? Can we give Aaron Rodgers credit for that Super Bowl run and Super Bowl win, or did he just kind of get lucky? Did the defense carry him? Were the other teams just trash? So we're gonna kind of be investigating his playoff run, and we're gonna start with the wild card game from 2010. Kind of watch that game, see what happened, because I'm as y'all know, I'm fed up with the man. I'm fed up with Aaron Rodgers, and I might take away some credit. I might take away some credit of that Super Bowl run. So we'll see if he deserves it, and we'll be investigating that for the next couple of days. So we've got all that on the show, so we got to start just jumping right in with the stories of the day. But before we even got to do that, we got a new segment here. Where in the world is Turtle Rodgers? We know he's not at mandatory minicamp. So where's the turtle? Where is this man at? So yesterday, we started it out. He was at the beach. We found him at the beach. And now today, day 2 of not being at mandatory minicamps, guess where we had to look to find Aaron Turtle Rodgers? The golf course, folks. So yes, sir, Turtle Rodgers was spotted at a golf course practicing his golf game, because if y'all remember, he's got a match against Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson on July 6th. How's that going to play out? Is he still going to do that? Because that'd be the ultimate disrespect to that Packers team. No, I'm not going to show up to these mandatory practices, these mini camps. I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm doing. I'm holding out, but you're going to watch me on July 6th on TV when I go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson in Capital One, the match. So that's where Turtle Rodgers is today, hitting the links, working on his short game, trying to beat Tom Brady at something. We know we can't beat him at football, so Aaron Rodgers has to try another sport, another competition to try and beat the greatest quarterback of all time in something. So that's what Turtle Rodgers is doing today. Not at practice, not at these mandatory minicamps, not working with his team, not trying to get better. He's alone at the golf course, working on his putting game to try and beat Tom Brady at something. And I mean, what a clear disadvantage now for Tom Brady here going into the match, because this man's at the mandatory minicamps. This man's at all the practices, getting better, working on his kind of football game, wanting to kind of keep that benchmark of greatest of all time, keep raising that bar where Turtle Rodgers is nowhere to be found. He doesn't care. He's over it. He knows he'll never be the greatest of all time, so he's just throwing in the towel, it seems like. So, thrown in the shell, we should say. But, Tom Brady, he's going to be kind of fatigued during this golf match, where Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking crisp and cool and well-rested and well-prepared, because he's got all this free time on his hands now. He's not working on football. The man is working on golf. So July 6th, the match, Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady versus Bryson DeChambeau and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is getting in some early practice here. So Tom Brady, he's going to be exhausted for this one. He's putting in all that kind of football work. This is like a little afterthought. This is just a friendly competition for Tom Brady, where Aaron Rodgers is taking this 1,000% serious, because this is the only way he can beat Tom Brady straight up in something. So We'll see where Turtle Rodgers gets spotted tomorrow. We know it's not going to be on mandatory minicamp, so we'll see what's with all the free time on his hands, what he's up to. Where is he at? So we'll see. That's just day 2, folks, at the beach and at the golf course for the first 2 days. Pretty good. Pretty nice. Yeah. So let's keep moving on here with some stories here. Matt LaFleur. We got some quotes of him at What's Up with Aaron Rodgers. So Matt LaFleur on Aaron Rodgers skipping Packers mandatory minicamp. Quote, "It is what it is, man. Man, unfortunate. You know, everybody else is there. Everybody else is showing up, trying to put in the work, trying to get better, trying to take that team that was right on the doorstep of the Super Bowl last year and for these last 2 seasons and put in that just extra work, extra team bonding with the team to just get them over that small hump. I mean, it's a small hump, folks. 13-3 the last 2 years, right on the door, knocking on the Super Bowl and just coming up a little short. Everyone's trying to work on that besides Aaron Rodgers. So let's see what we get here in this article. And some other quotes by Matt LaFleur. So Packers coach Matt LaFleur declined to disclose whether Rodgers' absence was excused, calling it, quote, team business. And that's something else that, that we can kind of keep track of here is that, Aaron Rodgers, these are mandatory. You must be there. And if you don't, then you get fined. So we're not sure if the Packers are fining Aaron Rodgers for all these misses. We're assuming they're probably not going to fine him. They kind of know, the relationship between them is on rocky ground, and they don't want to kind of exacerbate that like too much. It may be already at the point of no return here for Aaron Rodgers, but you're not going to put these fines on top of that. I think they'll just eat it. I don't think they'll fine them. They'll kind of call them excused absences so they don't have to fine Aaron Rodgers. But we get no insight on that. Matt LaFleur keeping a tight ship, and I love that. I mean, we know that's what Matt LaFleur is all about, keeping everything internal in the organization. We don't want to hear, any of these kind of reports in the media getting blown out of proportion, a la what happened to Russell Wilson earlier in this offseason. So Matt LaFleur is running a tight ship over there in Green Bay, and I'm all about it, calling it team business. Y'all don't need to know. It's team business. It's team business. All right, here we go. Matt LaFleur, quote, "I think anytime you're talking about any player on your football team, you love everybody to be here. So, it is what it is, man. We'll focus and we'll control and work on the guys that are here and try to help them become the best to their ability and coach the heck out of them." Yes, sir. I mean, Matt LaFleur is all about the team, man. This is not basketball. This is football. It takes everybody buying in, offense, defense, special team coaches. It takes them all to put in the work to build that team chemistry, to build that rhythm, to try and have success in the regular season. So it's not all about one guy. This Packers team is bigger than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not bigger than the team, and Matt LaFleur is truly buying into that, saying, hey, we're gonna work on whoever's here, whoever's gonna actually show up and put the time in. That's who we're gonna kind of coach up their ability and get them up to speed and get them ready to rock. If you're not here, well, I don't know what y'all want us to do. You're not here, so we're gonna move on without you, and we're gonna get everybody else up to speed and ready to rock. So Jordan Love, hey, pressure's on now. You're thrown into the fire now. Sink or swim. We're going to try and get you to that ready mark. We're going to get you ready to rock, and it's going to be up to you to put in that extra work. We're making all the tools available. We're giving you the kind of reps with the ones. Let's get ready, Jordan Love, because it looks like your time is coming a little bit earlier than everybody expected it to. So Matt LaFleur not tripping in the media about Aaron Rodgers not being there. And now we get another quote from David Bakhtiari, a teammate of Aaron Rodgers. So let's see what he says. Packers star left tackle David Bakhtiari told reporters that he doesn't take Rodgers' absence personally. Quote, "I care about Aaron Rodgers from a friend perspective. Whatever he wants to do, I will never hold any grudge against him. As a teammate, I would be idiotic to say I don't want the MVP back. And then he also went on to say, I have a very close relationship with Aaron, but this is something I'm not going to inject myself into. And yeah, I mean, that's your business. This is your money. This is your decision. You feel disrespected by this team. I don't. David Bakhtiari, I don't feel disrespected. I feel actually kind of respected here. But, hey, that's between them. I'm not going to get myself into this. I do like Aaron Rodgers. We are friends. I love playing for this Packers team. I'm not going to get involved with it. This is not my fight. Obviously we would want him on the team. Who's not going to want Aaron Rodgers throwing the football on your team? I mean, folks, come on, let's be real. The man's a great talent. Nobody's ever doubting that. Once again, we're not saying that Aaron Rodgers is not good, folks. That's not what we're saying. It's just his kind of attitude towards the game and towards the organization is just like, it's like, what are we doing? I don't like that. I don't like his attitude part, but his talent is fantastic. It speaks for itself. We all understand that. So David Bakhtiari's like, hey, I'm going to let y'all handle that. Y'all are going to do whatever y'all want to do. I'm not going to get in the middle of it. I want him here. Obviously, he's great. And if he's there, great. If he's not, I'm still going to protect whatever's behind me. Whether it's Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to be playing the same pace regardless. So, all right, is that it? That seems to be it for this quote, for this article. But then we get Davante Adams, kind of, once again, that wide receiver that's got a great relationship with Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of, backing up Aaron Rodgers. This is what Davante Adams had to say. Quote, I'll stand on the fucking mountain and scream on the mountaintop that I got his back. Hey, whatever, I'm kind of backing up Aaron Rodgers here. We have this chemistry, wide receiver, quarterback. We're friends. We're friendly. Yes, sir. And I'm definitely going to back him up because, maybe Davante Adams deep down thinks that, yeah, they were truly disrespecting, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. But he says, hey, I'll stand on the fucking mountain and scream, that I got his back. But I'm also not going to sit out, though, because Davante Adams, on coming into training camp without a contract extension, quote, I signed up to go to work and play. I grew up with $0. I'm not forfeiting any of my money that I've earned. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. You earn this money. Go out and do it. At the end of the day, football is a job. We know that they get paid a lot of money, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to play this game. But at the end of the day, it is their job. That is their career to go out in the field. You signed a contract. You will be there. You will be out there for these mandatory minicamps. You don't have to be out there for the voluntary OTAs, but these are mandatory. You don't come, you get penalized, you get fined, and will probably, you're going to miss the reps and you may not be the starter. So you signed a contract. Aaron Rodgers signed a contract. He is not there on the field. He is kind of voiding that contract. Unfortunate. I understand, he feels, this is bigger than the contract and this is bigger than sports. And okay, you can live and die by that. That's your prerogative. I understand it. But Davante Adams, he's like, yeah, hey, Aaron, I got your back, but I'm gonna have your back from the practice. I'm gonna have your back from the practice field. I can't sit out with you. I don't have the money that you have just quite yet. So Davante Adams is still out there balling out, going to practice, getting better. Respecting that contract that he signed, and he's ready to rock and play. So literally it's just Aaron Rodgers not there at the Packers facilities, getting better and working on the team. So that's where we're at with the Packers, folks. Everybody is there besides Aaron Rodgers, and we know he's not going to show up, and we'll see if he ends up getting fined or if they just kind of let it slide. We'll see. All right, let's keep moving on here. Julio Jones posted his goodbye to Atlanta yesterday, which, it's great. It seems like, they left on great terms. Atlanta sent Julio Jones to a playoff competitive team. And, Atlanta got, not exactly what they wanted, but, they got a second-round pick. So, it seems like, the Falcons and Arthur Blank really kind of respected Julio Jones for all that he's done for that organization, for all the tickets he sold, for all the revenue that he brought in, getting them to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, not capitalizing on the Super Bowl, but there was also other circumstances that surrounded that kind of game. So let's read what Julio Jones says. Here we go. Quote, "Thank you, Atlanta, for all the love you've shown me over the years. It's been an amazing 10 years playing for the city and all the fans. I appreciate everything you've done for me over the years, and I will never forget my time as an Atlanta Falcon. Excited for the next part of my journey here in Nashville. To the fans, I want to thank you all for the warm welcome for me and my family. We are very excited to be part of the Titans family, ready to get to work, tighten up." Yes, sir. So, Julio Jones, hey, it's all respect, it's all class, it's all business there in Atlanta, and now ready to rock with this Titans team, and man, oh man, it's going to be great. But Julio Jones, wears number 11 with the Atlanta Falcons, but A.J. Brown has number 11. So A.J. Brown was willing to change jersey numbers, but Julio Jones says, no, I'm the one changing the jersey, and we got a fresh new look at Jones's jerseys. He's going to be rocking number 2 for the Tennessee Titans, and look at this. We get the first look at his jersey here, looking great in the blue and the silver. Ooh, single-digit number. Looking great, and he's going to be rocking and stunting the number 2 for the Titans. So A.J. Brown's keeping number 11. Julio Jones is wearing number 2, and they're ready to rock, folks. Julio Jones is not tied down to that number 11 number. Pretty solid here. We who was it that went to the Colts? Was it Carson Wentz? Was that his number? Michael Pittman Jr. He was wearing number, I want to say, was it number 11 as well? Were they wearing number 11? But Michael Pittman Jr. was kind of like straight up, yeah, nah, Carson, you're not getting this number. I'm sorry, but I'm keeping the number. Whereas this Titans team, A.J. Brown was like, yeah, Julio, you want the number? You can have the number. And Julio Jones was like, nah, I'm switching it to number 2. So expect, don't be surprised when you see Julio Jones rocking the 2, be like, I thought this man was 11. No, the man, hey, new team, new number. I ain't tied down to it. Atlanta, that was, number 11, that was Atlanta. Number 2, this is a Titan, baby, and y'all better be ready to rock and ready to see what I can do here for this team. All right. Here we go. We got the Falcons head coach. I mean, how about, you being a new head coach for a team, thinking you got this weapon, and then it kind of gets, kind of sold from under you. But Falcons new head coach here, Arthur Smith, on Julio Jones. Quote, "I don't worry about players I never coach." He's not tripping. He's like, okay, he was here, now he's not. All right, time to, keep going with what we've already got. So Arthur Smith is not tripping here. What is funny about this thing is that Arthur Smith was the Titans offensive coordinator for the last 2 years. Where did Julio Jones go? The Titans. So just missed out on coaching him, really. But yeah, he's not tripping about it. So let's see what we get in this article right here. Let's see what Arthur Smith has to say about not having Julio Jones, unfortunately. So the new Atlanta Falcons head coach said his focus isn't on what he lost in the Jones trade, but rather the men on his squad. Quote, "My concern is the guys we've got on the roster. I've dealt with a lot of different situations week to week in my experience in Tennessee. It doesn't matter. They're going to roll the ball out there. We're going to kick off. There's going to be a game to play. Our objective is to go win. No different than what we were dealing with the COVID issue last year with Buffalo. We had 4 wideouts that game. My job as a coach was to go get us prepared to play. We'll do whatever we have to do to win that game. That's kind of how I look at it. So he's not tripping. Hey, Jones is not here. I still got to win games. When Jones was here, what was my goal? To win games. Jones not here. What is still my goal? It's to win games. And I've got kind of players around here. We're going to work with the men that we got. Same thing that, Matt LaFleur is saying there in Green Bay. We're going to rock with the players that we've got. If you're not here, if we traded you, if you're holding out, all right, that's unfortunate, but the goal is still not changed, to win. I am here to win games, and we're still going to do that. All right, Smith dismissed the idea that the Falcons will be less successful on offense after the trade. Quote, "I don't worry about players I never coached." And once again, losing Julio Jones, I don't think is that much of a kind of a dig here on this Falcons team overall. They've got more money now. They can go out and get, more players if needed, but do they really need it? We just talked about it yesterday on the show that Calvin Ridley, I mean, he was balling out when, Julio Jones was out last season for like 5-6 games. Calvin Ridley was stepping up and being that great wide receiver number 1 on that team. And then you still got Russell Gage, and is everybody forgetting that they went and drafted Kyle Pitts? And I'm going to say this, I am going to say this, and it may be wild to say, but I'm going to say it. Kyle Pitts is going to have a better career in Atlanta than Julio Jones did. I know it's crazy to say, and I know that Kyle Pitts is a tight end, but folks, you have to look at what he is. He's a 6'6", fast as heck. He's basically a wide receiver at the tight end position. We just saw Darren Waller go and absolutely crush it last season. And when you have, Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage as wide receivers having to lock them down, and then you've got the tight end of Kyle Pitts on that end of the line having to kind of acknowledge and respect his play as well, I mean, it's just going to open it up. And if Matt Ryan can be serviceable this year like we know he can be, this Falcons offense is going to be ready to rock. I mean, just look at their new head coach, Arthur Smith. What did he do with the Titans these last 2 seasons? Working up Ryan Tannehill to kind of a borderline elite level. I'm going to say borderline. I'm not going to call Ryan Tannehill elite, but, Arthur Smith was the Titans offensive coordinator and made that team work with, great weapons and, a solid quarterback at Ryan Tannehill. So the sky's the limit for what they can do here. They got speed on speed on speed and some height on height on height, and some physicality on physicality on physicality with all their ball catching weapons. I mean, Arthur Smith being the head coach here, this Falcons offense is going to be absolutely dangerous. So of course he's not tripping that Julio Jones is not there, and of course he's going to be dismissing the idea that the Falcons will be less successful on offense after the trade. Folks, Julio Jones missed like 6-7 games last year, and they were still competitive in those games. So Julio Jones is great. Nobody's doubting that. Nobody's saying that he's not great, but he is kind of aging out of this league, unfortunately. So this kind of overreaction that the Falcons are going to be absolutely trash and the Titans are going to be Super Bowl contenders, I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. Yes, Julio Jones is solid, but can he stay healthy? How is he looking? Is he slowing down at 33? These are all questions that are only going to be answered with time, obviously, as this season progresses. But let's all kind of, stop that this Falcons team is absolutely trash now. They've got pieces, folks. We just need them to get that running back. Mike Davis, we're not the biggest fan of. He's a solid 2. He's a solid 2 running back in this league. But if you really want to capitalize on kind of what the Titans have, Derrick Henry, the greatest running back in the league right now, and will go down as the greatest running back of all time. They've got, 2 great wide receivers. They've got a solid tight end, and they got that elite on elite running back. So we know the Titans have the wide receivers in plentiful bunches, but they are a little lackluster on the running game. So we'll see if they go out in these next couple of months here before the season starts and get kind of their A1 tier 1 running back, which would be Le'Veon Bell. They've got the money to do so. We'll see if they go out and do it. But Arthur Smith, the head coach of the Falcons, is not tripping not having Julio Jones, folks. All right, now we get the flip side of this. So we just talked about, the Falcons, losing Julio Jones. Well, let's talk about, the Titans getting him. So now we get the Titans general manager, John Robinson, on the Julio Jones trade, quote, a move that we needed to make. So we got the Falcons saying, yeah, we didn't really need him. We're going to get rid of him. We're not tripping if he's not here. Where this Titans general manager was like, oh my God, we needed this man. Of course we needed Julio Jones. So, joining NFL Network's Good Morning Football on Wednesday, Robinson said the addition of Jones is the perfect match in the Titans offense. Quote, my charge is to get as many good players on the team as possible. And I'm excited about the guys that we had back on the roster, the guys that we added in the offseason. But when you're able to acquire a player like Julio and can add him into the mix of our football team, what we try to do offensively, those don't come around very often. Yeah, absolutely. Quote, we thought it was the move that we needed to make for us. I know our fans are super stoked to have him here. So, he could still play. Julio Jones still was solid last year. Just the injuries, not the greatest, but just kind of losing that height in Corey Davis last season, bringing in Julio Jones, kind of replacing that height with kind of equal height. Corey Davis 6'3", Julio Jones 6'4". But, the flip side of the Falcons, the Titans here, they're obviously excited to have him. He's a superstar. He's a surefire Hall of Famer. He's an elite pass catcher. We saw all that he could do for that Titans team. And not just kind of, just being out there to catch the balls, but to also be the kind of distraction, taking away kind of the number one cornerback on the defense. You take him away because he has to be on Julio Jones, which opens up the other parts of your offense. So watch out, if Julio Jones doesn't have an amazing season or doesn't have, a career-setting season, just watch for what the other players do. This Titans team is absolutely pretty much stacked offensively. Just besides Julio Jones and obviously A.J. Brown, those are their tier ones. They've also got Josh Reynolds, who probably would have been the number 2 wide receiver if they didn't get Julio Jones. Josh Reynolds, he's 6'3", and he still got 618 yards last season, being kind of the number 3-4 wide receiver on this team. So they still have more depth, more kind of, playability here with Julio Jones taking away a lot of attention of the defense. Expect, Josh Reynolds to really kind of get it done as well. So they've got the pieces here, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. They've got them all, and they're ready to rock this season. And let's see if Julio Jones, how much he's going to add or just how much he's able to kind of just take the attention away and give everybody else touches while he's kind of being the main focal point of the defense trying to shut down this offense. So Titans, they are glad to have him. The Falcons, they're not tripping not having him. So that's kind of where we're at with Julio Jones now. Now we just have to see him. Now we just have to see him in game setting come week 1. How is he looking? Is he looking slower? Is he looking older? Is he looking kind of hurt with that hamstring injury? Or is he all good to go? He's back to his kind of, MVP caliber, Hall of Fame level of play. So only time will tell. We'll see who actually won the Julio Jones trade. We'll know by the end of this season. If the Falcons flounder this season and don't get better from last season and are truly struggling on offense, the Titans will win the trade. But if the Titans, if they can't, make a deep playoff run, if they don't even make the playoffs, if, Julio Jones is injured and he misses half the season, then the Falcons will pretty much win that trade as well. So we'll know as the season progresses. But, both sides are kind of playing their part on what they have to say. So we'll see during the season. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. And man, oh man, I cannot wait for Najee Harris, folks. Oh my gosh. We didn't think we were going to be rooting for the Steelers this season just because, we couldn't really rely on Big Ben. But them getting Najee Harris, I think I'm back to in believing the Steelers team could honestly win the Super Bowl, honestly. With their defense and their run game and just kind of Big Ben being a game manager out there with all those great wide receivers that they still have. Man, oh man, Najee Harris could truly be the missing link here. So we get this here. Big Ben says Steelers running back coach Eddie Faulkner told rookie Najee Harris he had to leave after Harris stayed for hours following practice. This is what Eddie Faulkner said. Najee, I have to go home now. You have to go home now. The moon is out. The moon is out. Najee, we gotta go. Come back tomorrow. I appreciate all the work you're putting in, but I gotta go. I got a family to take care of. I gotta put some dinner on some tables, folks. So Najee Harris, he is grinding out here for the Steelers, and that's exactly what we want to see. We know he is an elite running back in this league. He was our number 1 running back on our big board for this year's draft, and the fact that he's still out here, still wanting to get better, coming from college to the NFL. We know it is still, the speed of the game is different. That's the one thing that we hear over and over and over again from rookies coming into the NFL is the speed. It hits you as soon as you get out on that field for game number 1. So Najee Harris is trying to be the best that he can for the Steelers team, knows he's going to be the workhorse running back here for the Steelers because they don't really have another running back. He's going to instantly be the starting running back for this team, and he's putting in all the work out here. So I'm loving it. Najee Harris out here setting the tone for what the Steelers are going to be this year. And if everybody can kind of, keep up pace with Najee Harris on the Steelers team, everybody going out there and putting in extended hours, working on their game to be as elite as they can be, this Steelers team is going to be absolutely fantastic. So the defense kind of fell apart last year with all the injuries. They're ready to get right this year. They've had the offseason to get kind of healed and ready to rock for week 1. Big Ben's arm has some time to rest, and Najee Harris is going to be out there at the running back position just going ham every single game. We don't have to worry about Najee Harris not knowing the plays, not knowing the playbook, not knowing, oh, I have to go right here, not left, or, oh, hey, what do I do on the sweep play, or what do I do on the counter play? No. The man is going to be ready to rock out of the gate. And could potentially be, the best running back of the season. Potentially. It's going to be tough. And as we kind of just talked about this, let's go into this. Who will lead the league in rushing yards next season? PFF tweets out who's going to be the leading rusher in the league next season. And there's only one answer, folks. It's Derrick Henry. Stop playing with this man. The man is he's not even a running back, folks. He's a freaking wrecking ball out there. Speed, size, strength at the running back position. He's basically like what Kyle Pitts is to that tight end position, folks. It's absolutely fantastic. So Derrick Henry, I believe he won the rushing title the last 2 years, getting it done. There's really nobody else that I can think that can kind of compete with him. Maybe Najee Harris, maybe, but he's a rookie, probably not. We know he's putting in the work to potentially be, I would put Najee Harris in maybe top 5 rushers, but to upset Henry year 1 for Najee Harris, I think the task is a little bit too tall for that. But these other running backs we have, Jonathan Taylor, we love Jonathan Taylor, but the Colts running game is going to be a little bit of, running back by committee. And that's not taking anything away from Jonathan Taylor, but Derrick Henry, he's the only guy there in Tennessee to run the ball. Dalvin Cook, he's tried. I think he was number 2 in rushing last season, and he's still good. Don't get us wrong, but at the end of the day, he fumbles a little bit. Derrick Henry can kind of, go yards after contact. Dalvin Cook, more of an elusive running back. So Dalvin Cook could potentially be number 2. I don't think if he's ready to kind of take that number 2 step here, or that number 1 step. Let's bring up Dalvin Cook's rushing yards from last season. How much was he off from Derrick Henry? Let's get that up really quickly. Dalvin Cook last season, 1,500 yards. Amazing. Let's see what Derrick Henry did. I want to say it was 2,000. I think he got over 2,000. And it was 2020, folks, 500 more yards, 500 more yards. And when we look at what Derrick Henry has done his entire career, this is why we love the man so much, because he's getting better every single season. Year 1, 490 yards. Year 2, 744 yards. Year 3, 1,059 yards. Year 4, 1,540 yards. That's what Dalvin Cook did last season. And then last season for Derrick Henry, 2,027 yards, getting better every single year. The man averaged 126 yards a game, folks. Give this man the respect. There's no signs of this man slowing down. So, of course, we have to say that Derrick Henry is going to win the rushing title again this year. Just absolutely magnificent. You cannot stop him, folks. You cannot stop him. The yards after the contact is just astonishing. He's dragging teams. He's dragging entire teams on his shoulder as they're trying to bring him down. And then he's like, oh, y'all are on me. I just scored. Y'all can get off. The ref just blew the whistle. Y'all are still trying to tackle me. The play's over. I've scored. We've won. The game is over. Get off of me, y'all. Like, you cannot stop Derrick Henry out here. So, Dalvin Cook, he had his best rushing season last season at 1,500 yards, but is he ready? Is he ready to keep going? Now, Dalvin Cook, I'll give him credit. He's been getting better every single season as well. First season, 354 yards. Second season, 615 yards. Third season, 1,135 yards. And then just last season, season 4, 1,557 yards. So, yes, Dalvin Cook is still getting better, but can he make that next leap like Derrick Henry does? Can he keep getting better? Can he reach that 2,000-yard milestone? We'll see what he can do out here, but I would still put my money on Derrick Henry 1, probably Dalvin Cook number 2. What else do we got out here? Saquon Barkley. Now, I want to root for this man. I love Saquon Barkley, but coming off that injury and then that just star-studded offensive kind of wide receiver talent that they have, they've got like 5 wide receivers deep. So Saquon Barkley may not be able to kind of get all those carries to make 2,000 rushing yards happen. Nick Chubb for the Browns. What did he do last year? I know he had a solid year, but was it only like 1,200? Did he get that, 1,500? That's a real kind of good benchmark. 1,500 rushing yards, 2,000 rushing yards. Those are some solid benchmarks for rushers. But, Nick Chubb only, 1,000 yards, kind of splitting carries once again with Kareem Hunt, with Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry. They are back there by themselves. Saquon Barkley back there by himself. Ezekiel Elliott, well, don't get me started. The man, he could have done it last season, but he didn't. No Dak Prescott, having Andy Dalton as the quarterback. You should have been the elite rusher. You should have been taking all the carries and putting up all the points, but that's not what he did. So let's get what he got up for what he did last season. Let's bring up his career stats. 979 yards last season. Didn't even crack 1,000 when he was the main man. So what are we talking about here? So can't give it to Ezekiel Elliott. Then we get Christian McCaffrey. Now, he could, but, rushing yards. He's kind of a dual threat running back like Alvin Kamara. Great kind of catcher out of the backfield. Yes, he can run the ball straight from the backfield as well, but they use him in the passing game a little bit more. Not a little bit more, but, kind of to break it up. So he may have like 2,000 yards total, but that's 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. Derrick Henry doesn't need to catch the ball out of the backfield. What did he do last season? So he put up 2,000 yards on the ground, and then he also put up another 114 yards receiving. So Christian McCaffrey will probably be like 1,200 yards rushing, 800 yards receiving for the combined 2,000, where Derrick Henry is just rushing and rushing and rushing and rushing till he can't rush no more, baby. And then Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon's good, but he's on this Bengals team. Like, that's nothing elite. So, we're going to still be saying that Derrick Henry is going to be the league rusher this season. Dalvin Cook is probably going to be in the top 5, and I would say Najee Harris could be in the top 5 as well. Top 5 of just this list that we said is probably Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. See, I'm struggling to kind of fill that 5th, that 4th. So yeah, Najee Harris can immediately make this big impact and be top 5 rusher and potentially challenge Derrick Henry for number 1, depending on how great Najee Harris is kind of translating to the NFL, because like Derrick Henry, because like Dalvin Cook, because like Saquon Barkley, he's the only guy back there for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. There's no other kind of rusher to, take away carries, to have more carries. He's the number 1 running back on that team. There's nobody that can even come close to challenging him for that. So Najee Harris, folks, watch for this man to be explosive year 1, and maybe challenge number 1, definitely challenge number 2, but potentially challenge number 1. Alrighty, well, keep talking about the Steelers here. We get this, and this is optimistic. I'm gonna say this is optimistic as heck, and, I respect it, but, in the reality, I don't know. So here we go. Mason Rudolph wants to stay with the Steelers and eventually take the reins. Okay, we know Big Ben's going to be leaving after next season, but is Mason Rudolph the answer, the successor? I don't think so, but he believes in it. We get a quote here. That's my goal, is to be the starting quarterback in this league and for our team. Okay, alrighty. Mason Rudolph going into his 3rd year. His first year, he started 8 games. That was kind of when Big Ben went down in the start of the season. So they bring in Mason Rudolph, and he went 5-3. 62% completion percentage, 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's a lot. That's basically 1-to-1 touchdown and interception ratio, which we do not like. We like at least 2-to-1 at least, and we don't want to see you having double-digit interceptions. Now, we only had 9, but he only played 8 games, so that's half the season. You double that number, we're talking about 18 interceptions. Not the greatest out there. So, not the greatest year 1, and then last year he started 1 game, last game of the season against the Browns as they kind of rested Big Ben, and what did he do? Well, he got him close. He got him close, folks. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick in the game. Let me go back to it here. Where's his? Here we go. Let's go to the game logs here. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 56% completion percentage, though, not the greatest. What he did have, though, was 315 yards, and that I can definitely respect, but he got him very close to winning the game, just could not seal the deal. They go down with 1:23 seconds left, score the touchdown, but they're still down 2, so they have to go for the 2-point conversion. So let's see what Mason Rudolph did when the game is on the line in the clutch. We saw him kind of in the regular season year 1, nothing great, 5-3, just kind of mediocre overall. But now, last year he had the chance to be the man, to be the big guy on campus. No Big Ben, because you're resting him. You can rely on me. If this man wants to take the reins, we would love to see you kind of get it done, early on in your career, but he still hasn't done that. So here we go. Let's roll the tape here. 2-point conversion. Let's see what he does here. So Mason Rudolph drops back to pass, tries to go over the middle, and just kind of, it's very tightly covered. You can't go there with the football. He doesn't have that touch to get it there, and it's an incomplete pass. So not the greatest there, but let's break down this play to see, was there anything open on this play? Did he make the wrong read? Did he make the right read? It's just unfortunate. It was the great defense by the Browns. So let's go slow-mo here, and let's see here. We got about 3 wide. Running back out of the backfield. We got the tight end on the left side going out for a route. So we've got, so far, we've got 4 options. There are 4 options to go to with the ball. His eyes immediately go to the left side. The tight end going down the line is kind of covered as well. He's going to try and hit the wide receiver. I believe this is the Chase Claypool over the middle, but it's very tightly covered, double covered on there, and then it's just the ball sails too high on there. So not the best read, but that was covered. So let's, the tight end was covered as well. You couldn't really make that pass either. Maybe if you lob it on the end zone, it'd be maybe catchable, but still at the end of the day, that's a tough pass to make. But let's watch this right side of the field. He didn't look over there, but let's see if there's anything on this right side of the field, these 2 routes coming up that, should have kind of been thrown to. So here we go. We kind of got one-on-one coverage. The one's trying to go down the line, and he's way covered, and then the other one's trying to hit the back of the end zone, and he's just not looking that way, and it's pretty much covered as well. So just unfortunate here, a tough play. The Browns really, truly defended it well. Not bad here by Mason Rudolph. So, alrighty, maybe promising, maybe, but at the end of the day, are we gonna just believe in Mason Rudolph at the end of the day? He's really shown us nothing. He's had opportunities. Maybe he's getting better, working behind the scenes, and, definitely next season is going to come to fruition because we know this is Big Ben's 100%. This is his last season. He's not playing anymore after this season. But let's go back to this article right here. Let's see what Mason Rudolph is saying. So, alrighty. Rudolph never got a true shot at earning Pittsburgh's starting job, sure, but one could also argue Rudolph had the opportunity in 2019 and didn't seize it. Yeah, we just said that. I mean, 5-3, not looking the greatest out there. And was he the first quarterback that they went with, or was he their backup? Because remember, they kind of split the season down in 2. When Big Ben, because Big Ben went down very early in 2019, and he was kind of, he kind of got the start there. He didn't play in the back half of the season. They kind of went with another quarterback, so they didn't really truly believe in him. He didn't play week 12, didn't play week 13, didn't play week 14. He played week 16 and then lost, and then, he got injured, and then that was the end of that. So unfortunate there for Mason Rudolph. Let's go back to this article right here. Alrighty, where did we leave off? All right. Regardless, Rudolph doesn't want to be anywhere else. Quote, at the end of the day, I want to be in Pittsburgh. This is where I was drafted. This is home. This is where I want to continue to play. Rudolph has been generally unimpressive in his professional career, but he did manage to post a 5-3 mark as a starter in 2019, nearly helping the Steelers to a surprise playoff berth, but doing almost nothing down the stretch of that ultimately futile effort. Rudolph lost his only game as a starter in 2020, but it came with Pittsburgh resting multiple key players after having already secured the division crown. So basically what we were already saying in this article. Alrighty, we got a couple more quotes here, so let's read these. The only problem, of course, is that he's not in line to take the reins, and by the time that opportunity opens, he'll either not be under contract or he might not end up as option number one if Joshua Dobbs or new addition Dwayne Haskins proves to be a better candidate. Well, Dwayne Haskins is not going to upset Mason Rudolph. I don't like Mason Rudolph, but I also don't like Dwayne Haskins. I guess I give it to Mason Rudolph a little bit. And then Joshua Dobbs, I mean, he kind of played. Did he play in that 2019 season? I think he did. He didn't get that many attempts. I wanted to see what Joshua Dobbs was doing a little bit more, but they rarely played him. Let's get what he did in 2019. He didn't even play in 2019. He goes from 2018 to 2020. But, yeah, he never started a game, got into one game in 2020, 4 or 5 for no touchdowns, 2 yards, so he didn't do anything else. So Mason Rudolph can definitely be the number 2 option here. It's not that hard. Dwayne Haskins and Josh Dobbs, I mean, that's honestly nothing. And I wanted to believe in Joshua Dobbs, but the fact that he never even got any opportunities in that 2019 season, that just kind of proves that Mike Tomlin was like, yeah, this man is nowhere near ready. So Mason Rudolph is the clear number 2 here. Let's not kind of get this out of control. This article is kind of going a little too crazy here. On Mason Rudolph. We're not going to go that wild on the man. But let's see. We got a quote here by Mason Rudolph. So, quote, "You're always excited and you're always looking forward to competition. You know it's going to be there each and every year. It's just a matter of who. And right now, this is where he needs to make his mark. If he truly wants to take over the reins for the Steelers team, you need to be impressive right now in this year because there's no competition. Joshua Dobbs and Dwayne Haskins are not competition. And if you can't beat them, then you're not making it in this league. You won't make it in this league. But he can definitely be the number 2 here this year. And if he goes out and impresses, maybe they take a quarterback in next year's draft just to have that extra competition for Mason Rudolph, push him even more. Let's see what you can do now that we kind of have, we're putting the pressure on you. We're going to keep you here. We'll sign you to a 1 year, but we're also going to draft a quarterback, and let's see what you can do now that the pressure is truly on, now that you kind of have a little head start in the starting quarterback. Maybe we give you kind of 51% of you being the starting quarterback against the field of what they've already have. So this is the year. Let's see what we get from Mason Rudolph in these mini camps, these practices that are coming up, and let's see if, gosh forbid, Big Ben can't go a game because of the arm, because of this, because of that, because maybe an injury, he just doesn't have it anymore. Whatever the case is, if he has to step it up for any time at all this season, he must get it done, and we must see a nice winning record with him out there with great stats, or it's done. It's done. He's done. So we'll keep an eye on Mason Rudolph. He's got big ambitions, and I respect it, but you have to go out there and prove it as well. So we'll keep an eye on Mason Rudolph this season. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Saints coach Sean Payton planning to build the offense a little bit around the quarterback who wins the starting gig. Alrighty, so Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. If Jameis Winston wins the starting job, probably he's not the biggest runner, so maybe just probably no rushing plays. But with Taysom Hill, we know he's got absolutely great speed, and you can build the offense around that, having everybody go deep, letting him kind of scramble around the field a little bit. Can't really do that too much with Jameis Winston. He's not the best rusher out there. But let's see what Sean Payton's saying in this article. So, Saints coach Sean Payton noted that while he'll tweak the offense for whichever quarterback wins the starting gig, the basis of the scheme won't change. Quote, "We'll build it a little bit around the player accordingly. That's something that we did when Drew first arrived here, and that we would do with either of these two players." So they've already done that with Drew Brees. The base of the offense is the same, but we will tweak it around what Drew Brees can do. Drew Brees can't really run. We'll we'll kind of tailor it to, pure lead passing. Taysom Hill wins a starting job. We'll add a couple of quarterback rushes, a little kind of trick plays here and there. Jameis Winston wins the starting job. We'll probably have the same offense that Drew Brees was kind of running. Maybe just tweak it here and there for the throws that he excels over Drew Brees making. So We still have no more update here on this quarterback competition where we see the Broncos. We see Teddy Bridgewater really, really winning the job. We haven't really seen or heard anything come out of the Saints camp to get a little hint or a little insider information on which quarterback is truly getting it done out there. All right, let's keep going here. We got one more quote. We'll likely see a similar plan from Peyton this offseason on a much larger scale, depending on who wins the job. Quote, there's certain things that you might do just specific to one or the other, and yet there's still an overall philosophical approach that these guys will have learned to play offense. It's not a whole different game plan for each one of them. So once again, just subtle hints here, maybe a couple extra plays here for Jameis Winston. We'll take those plays out. We'll replace them there with Taysom Hill, and but just the base offense is going to be the same, and whichever quarterback can get the base offense done wins the starting job, and then we'll factor in those plays that's tailored to that specific quarterback. So that's where we're at with the Saints right now. Sean Payton, it's still kind of up in the air, not kind of, showing his hand on who's kind of has a slight edge here or there. It's let's run this base offense. You have to run the base offense. If you can't run the base offense, that's unfortunate. That's what we do here in the Saints. This is the base offense. If you can't run it, well, unfortunate. So we'll keep an eye on the Saints. Obviously, I cannot wait. I think I would like to see Taysom Hill. I would like to see Taysom Hill win it, but we know what Jameis Winston can do, man. 30 touchdowns. We have to give him respect for that. 5,000 yards, folks. You have to respect that. So I like Taysom Hill. We saw, the arm make all the throws. We haven't seen him in an entire season like we've seen Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill is a dual threat quarterback, folks. You have to put him in the conversation of Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray. He's maybe not as fast as them, but he's still real solid and comparable to them. Maybe just a slight step less than those quarterbacks running the ball. But Jameis Winston, he doesn't really have that dual threat. He is kind of big and beefy. Taysom Hill a little bit smaller and more a bit elusive, but we'll see how it plays out. And we'll see who ultimately ends up winning the starting job. Alrighty, let's keep going here. And man, oh man, the NFL does not have some good looks here recently. We just broke it down the other time, and that really got swept under the rug. We haven't heard anything about it, really, even in the national media. But we talked about it last week of the NFL having kind of race bias on concussions and getting money from having concussions because they thought that black people just started naturally with lower cognitive function. So they're like, no. Y'all don't have the concussions. Y'all were just not smart or had that good cognitive function to begin with. So your claim is denied. You will not get that money. And then they said we're going to do $1 billion. We're throwing $1 billion towards that, so we don't do that anymore. Real bizarre that they were still doing that in 2020. And now we get this right here. The NFL and the NFLPA announced today it is looking to the medical community for proposals for alternatives to opioids in pain relief. Will offer grants up to $1 million in marijuana is in play. Marijuana should be in play, folks. We hear it all the time by the players. All the time by the players are like, yeah, marijuana is huge pain relief here for these football injuries. Ricky Williams, he was a little addicted to the weed. That was a little bit of a different scenario over there. But, all these players kind of coming out, these ex-players, you can't talk about it now because you can't, actively smoke weed in the NFL, but all these kind of ex-players coming out and being like, yeah, marijuana was great. I would not be able to play the game of football if I was not smoking weed, but weed is so, oh my God, so criminal in the national media and just kind of in society in general, which, we see studies that, disprove that time and time again, but nobody wants to change the law because they make money on it. The war on drugs. What the hell was that? Literally the worst thing to ever happen, honestly. So we know marijuana works, folks, and the NFL is still kind of dragging their feet, but they have no problem throwing opioids at these players. Hardcore, addictive drugs, folks. The opioid epidemic, folks. Have you ever heard of the marijuana epidemic? No, but opioids make more money. Big pharma, folks, come on. So NFL is still dragging their feet. Marijuana isn't play, but they're still looking towards the medical community for other alternatives. What do we get to here? I got something else up. Yeah, I mean, Albert Breer puts it perfectly. It remains unbelievable that the NFL didn't listen to players who told them for years that marijuana was effective in managing their pain and kept suspending them for Josh Gordon. He could have been, oh my God, Josh Gordon could have been the Julio Jones, folks. He honestly could have been the Julio Jones. We would have all been talking about, which team is going to be trading for, I just lost his name. I said Julio Jones too many times. Damn it. Josh Gordon. I mean, we would all have been talking about what Josh Gordon, oh my God, what are they going to give up? They're going to give up a first-round pick. Which team is he going to go to? Oh my God, the Titans just got Josh Gordon. They're Super Bowl contenders. We would have been talking about Josh Gordon the same way we talk about Julio Jones is the main point here, but he was smoking weed and he got suspended after suspended after suspended after suspended, suspended, out of the league, reinstated, suspended, reinstated, suspended. Like, folks, and he was just smoking weed. Damn, you are giving these players opioids, giving them shots of who knows what to get back out on the field, but a little weed, a little smoking the weed, a little ganja, a little marijuana, a little Mary J, and you're gonna suspend them and ruin these athletes' career because of weed? Come on! Literally feeding them opioids, addictive substances, folks. Life-ruining opioids. Come on. And the NFL is still dragging their feet here. So this has not been a good look here for the NFL. They're throwing money to all these problems to try to make it go away. We'll see if they finally legalize weed, man. I really think that is the best option. Obviously, I don't want you kind of, smoking weed during the game, obviously, but to manage your pain, to just kind of manage the just overall of the pressure that the NFL and being kind of that superstar in the spotlight, time in, time out. I mean, we hear all the time that, athletes, just athletes in general. We hear Kyrie Irving saying, I hate doing the media sessions and all that. And, it is pressure, you do get anxiety for that, but, pain, is the main thing here for the marijuana. But there'll be other benefits here, and to criminalize marijuana as much as they have been here, I think it's truly just nonsense, folks. So we'll see what the NFL does in whatever their medical community, and I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say, put it in kind of, quotes here, the medical community of whichever NFL medical doctors that they pay and that they actually ask for their research, so they'll be on their side. So we'll see what the NFL does here. But I just don't understand, man. You'll give them opioids, but you'll suspend them and ruin their careers if they smoke weed? What? Seriously, what? So that's where we're at with that. NFL is, yikes. But that's where we're at, and we'll see. All right, those were all the football stories, so let's head over to some basketball news. And the MVP was just unveiled yesterday, and drum roll, please, the MVP of this season was Nikola Jokic. Yes, sir. Truly deserved, folks. He's the first center to win it since Shaq. How crazy, in 2000. I mean, we always give it to the guards because, they put up the stats and the numbers, but these kind of new bigs, this new era of bigs, Joel Embiid, a front runner of the MVP as well. He was a center. Unfortunately, he just missed 20 games. You can't give it to that. Jokic played every single game. He's the first MVP to win every single game, or to play every single game in the last 20, 30 years, folks. It rarely happens. So you have to give respect to what Jokic has been doing for this Nuggets team. I hear just time and time again that his stats don't match up with these other MVP winners, and this is such a bad MVP, and how could you give it to him? But folks, you're comparing his stats to these guards that have won the MVP, folks. This man is truly a leader, the number one option scoring wise on this Nuggets team. Rebounds, got it done, averaging the double-double, very close to the triple-double. I mean, a passing big man, folks. Joel Embiid had like 1 assist. He's averaging like 1 assist in the regular season, where Jokic, I think it was averaging like 7, 8 assists while averaging that double-double, getting it done. So I've got no problem with Jokic. We said that Jokic should be the MVP. I hate everybody that's clowning on him for winning the MVP. So I love that Jokic won it. I think it was truly deserved. And, like I said, it's just Joel Embiid. He missed 20 games. I'm not giving it to somebody that lost 20 games and still somehow ended up as the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I can't give it to that, folks. So, Jamal Murray goes down for the Nuggets, and they still took care of business. So Jokic, of course, should have been the MVP. So I'm all about it, and I don't want to hear any Jokic slander on the MVP. Y'all understand? Alrighty, but let's see how the voting kind of broke down. So Jokic got 91 first place votes. Absolutely fantastic. Joel Embiid only got 1, which I thought was kind of low. I thought there would be more people that would have given him first place votes, but I loved that they kind of respected Jokic for playing every single game and really kind of dinged Joel Embiid for missing 20 games. It's not his fault. A little injury. It's unfortunate, truly unfortunate, but you still missed those games. So I'm glad that the voters here for the MVP kind of respected that, only giving Joel Embiid 1 vote. I thought it was low. They gave Steph Curry 5 first place votes for Steph Curry, which I thought was a little high. I thought those votes would have went to Joel Embiid, but yeah, Steph Curry played very well in the back half of the season. I didn't want to give it to the Warriors just because they were kind of, I wanted to give it to somebody in the top 6 of the Eastern or the Western Conference just because of how the play-in tournament was this year. 7th, 8th, 9th seed, all kind of, the same. So that's why we didn't really want to give it to Steph Curry, even though he played fantastic. Giannis got a vote, which I'm so over this man winning MVP for no reason. He won back-to-back, and it's just truly disgusting. And Chris Paul got 2 first place votes. And I don't mind Chris Paul winning or having 2 first place votes, but at the end of the day, I don't agree. I don't agree that Chris Paul should have even really been in the running for MVP. The point total was super low, and we saw what James Harden did when he was, healthy. And Chris Paul, everyone's like, I saw people in the media, and I don't want to point out this one individual, but it's the only one that comes to mind real quick. Joy Taylor, she said, oh my God, like after the first round series of the Suns, she was like, now do you guys understand why Chris Paul's the MVP? I'm like, no, because, well, first of all, it's a regular season award, so what are we talking about here in the playoffs? But second of all, it's really just he's a great facilitator, don't get us wrong, but the stats were just not there, and it's really just Devin Booker on that team. Scoreability, he can make the shots whenever he wants. He's the main scorer on this team, and I love Chris Paul. I got a Chris Paul jersey, folks. He's my favorite player in the NBA, but this was not the season for him to win MVP. He was great last year with the Thunder and the bubble. He's great this year as well, but he's not that MVP status. He's a solid point guard in this league, but I can't give him MVP. And then Derrick Rose ended up getting 1 first place vote, and that was like the fan vote. They get a vote, and that's really why he only got the 1 first place vote, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous to even think about this man winning MVP. He had a great season, don't get us wrong, but he started like 4 games, folks. I mean, he was on the bench. He was on the bench with that Pistons team, and then he went to the Knicks, and the bench there, solid. But yeah, to give Derrick Rose an MVP vote, that's wild. All right, the second place votes. Jokic gets 8 because he got all the first place votes. Joel Embiid ended up getting 62 second place votes, and that's what I can definitely agree with there. Steph Curry got 23 second place votes. So this is just how the overall rankings ended. So Jokic, obviously, number 1. Joel Embiid finished number 2. I've got no problem with that. Curry at number 3. I've got no problem with that. But Giannis at number 4. Chris Paul at number 5, Doncic only at number 6. Oh my God, how about the disrespect of Luka Doncic? Luka Doncic should have been 3rd, honestly. The stats were there. He did better than Chris Paul, folks. There's nobody good in Dallas, folks. Porzingis was a no-show the entire season, and Luka Doncic was putting up almost a triple-double. It was like 28. Like 9 and 8. It was real great, folks. So I give Luka Doncic the MVP over Chris Paul, over Giannis, over Steph Curry. I would have put Luka Doncic in 3rd scoring. So I thought Luka Doncic was a little kind of disrespected here, being voted 5th overall in MVP voting. But well done to Jokic, truly deserved, and yeah, I love it. All right, let's start talking about some games from last night. We're not breaking down the games just quite yet. Some stories here, but Paul George, man, playoff P was back in effect last night. So yesterday was Paul George's 10th playoff game, shooting 25% or worse, and he is now officially in the top 5. He's still number 3 in the top 5 of most playoff games shooting 25% or worse. So I'm gonna read you these names and let me see if these are any great big names that Paul George wants to be associated with. So here we go. Ever heard of Bob Cousy? He's got 13 games of shooting 25% or worse in a playoff game. Tom Heinsohn, he's got 12 games shooting 25% or worse in a playoff game. Dennis Johnson, he's got 7 games. And then Dolph Schayes, he's got 7 games as well. So Paul George is in some not elite company at all. And, you know, Paul George is thought of as an elite player in this league. But in the playoffs, folks, this man can truly not get it done. Shot absolutely abysmal again last night. And they lost close, folks. They only lost by 3 points. And Paul George, what did he shoot officially? 22%? Paul George shooting 23% last night from the field. Jeez Louise. So playoff P was in full effect last night, and we can just assume it will just always happen, folks. I mean, this man, I do not get it. How do you flounder all the times in the playoffs? Get it together, man. Alrighty, and then we get this. This is it, folks. The end of the game of the Jazz and the Clippers. And guess who steps up big time? Rudy Gobert, baby. Potential defensive player of the year. And he just went out and kind of secured the game last night. So the Jazz up 112-109, up 3 with 13 seconds left. Clippers have the ball. And just look at this great defensive sequence. They pick them all up. Kawhi's got the ball. He's got to pass it to Paul George. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have a good shot. Great defense here. It gets worked out to the corner of Marcus Morris. Rudy Gobert is there to defend it. 3 seconds left. Marcus Morris has to fire up a shot. Rudy Gobert is able to kind of, reset here after kind of, biting on the pump fake by Marcus Morris. And then he comes back and blocks the shot. And that's game over, baby. Rudy Gobert locking it up down low. Respect this man getting it done, winning the game kind of for them, defensively at least. So absolutely shout out to Rudy Gobert last night. Winning the game on the line, 1 possession game, lock it up. Paul George didn't want to take the shot. Kawhi Leonard didn't want to take the shot. Marcus Morris kind of had to force up a shot. There was like 4 seconds left when he had the ball. So, but very well done to Rudy Gobert blocking that shot. What a clutch play. And the Jazz end up winning by 3 because of that. So, Rudy Gobert with the game-winning block. You love to see it. All right, let's keep going on here. And another basketball story. And, we were kind of, saying there was a lot of injuries in this kind of NBA season. And we were like, is it just what we're thinking? Or is it truly backed up by facts? Is it because of the shorter season? So we actually get data now. And data suggests that injuries, especially soft tissue injuries, soared in the 2020-2021 NBA season. And team health officials, executives say the carryover effects will drive how player health is managed next season. So let's kind of go into some of these numbers here of how bad this season actually was. Was it bad, or was it just a small little percent bad? So let's go in this article right here. Alrighty, so the average number of players sidelined per game due to injury, non-COVID-19 illness or rest this season, just injury, was 5.1 players, and that's including both teams. So 5.1 players were kind of on average having to sit out because of injury. Now, according to Kevin Poulton, this is the highest since they started tracking it in the 2009-2010 season. That does not include games missed by players in the health and safety protocols. And then the next highest season was 4.8. So this season, the highest being 5.1 players on average having to sit out because of injury. And then the second highest season was 4.8. So 5% higher. Not that much, but once again, less season. There was only 72 games played this season. The other seasons, 10 more games played, 82 82 games. So 5% higher. May not seem like that much, but in the grand scheme of things with the shorter season, if you kind of, extrapolate for those 10 extra games, you could potentially, getting into the kind of 10 more percent. All right, what else do we get here? The increase was even more pronounced when focusing on the league's stars. This season's all-stars missed 370 out of a possible 1,944 games. So they've missed 19% of the games overall, the highest percentage in a season in NBA history. They missed an average of 13.7 regular season games. So, yeah, so once again, this season once again, the injuries playing a fact, not just every player, but the all-stars, the superstars that are playing the season, once again, were also injured as well. So, and then we got one more right here. There were 2,909 games lost to soft tissue injuries this regular season. It's the second highest figure recorded since they began tracking that in 2005-2006. The second most, or no, the most was, because this was the second most, but the most was 3,038 games missed in 2017 and 2018 season, which, once again, 82 games played. So if you kind of, once again, take that average of, we can actually get the numbers up here. So 2,909, that's the number of games lost. So we'll take that number and divide that by 72. That gives us an average of 40 games lost, 40 players, 40 games per player. That's what we're talking about. 40 games per player lost. And if we take that times 10, because there's 10 less games from this season to the regular 82 game schedule, that's 404 extra just in that games lost because of these soft tissues injuries. So if we add that 404 to the 2,909, we get, well, I butchered that. Let me get that again. 2,002 plus 404. We get 3,313, where the most was 3,038. So once again, if you extrapolate it for those extra 10 games, if the season was a regular NBA season, it would truly be the worst injury prone season in NBA history. So truly having all these kind of back-to-back games, not a lot of rest, squeezing in this season to try to make up because of last season's COVID season kind of going late, trying to get back on track here. So we'll see how this kind of, hurts the game. We'll see what they do. You can't have another kind of short season like this. The data is there that injuries, when going at a high level pace in the NBA, in short rest, no time to recover, you're getting injuries, and that affects the game. That affects the revenue. Who's going to watch a game? Who would have watched a game here if the Nets, the Nets just this season, perfect example. Everybody, one superstar basically playing every single night when they could have had three. That's taking away revenue from the NBA because nobody's tuning in to these games. Could you imagine if there was no Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving? Nobody's watching just Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan on this Nets team. Nobody's going to tune into that game. So we'll see how the NFL corrects this. Do they just get right back on schedule with their regular season? Do they have a buffer season? That's the hard part here. How to get back on track after the COVID season. We hear them kind of starting to kind of talk about doing it, reopening the season in October next season. But once again, this season's not even going to end till July. And then we get January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's only 3 months rest. Is that going to be enough time for everybody to kind of get re-going after they just had this kind of intense shortened season? So it's going to be interesting to see what the NBA does. Do they just kind of swallow a bad season? Let's shrink it. We'll shrink it 40 games, but we have to make sure that we're on track for next year. We had the same amount of rest. We're back in the swing of things for next season. So we'll see what they do, but they're planning on having a full 82 game season starting in October for this year. So we'll see how that happens, but the numbers are proven right here. Shortened season, attribute to more injuries. All right, a couple more stories to talk over. So here we go. We get more odds here. Odds on Kristaps Porzingis next team if traded. So Boston Celtics are the favorites at plus 200. And yeah, I could see him going to the Celtics. That's a solid option there. Him and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum would have to stay at the 3 because we know Porzingis does not want to play the 5. So they could probably make it work there with Porzingis with the Celtics. With the Warriors, if they keep Draymond Green, he's the 4. Porzingis would have to play the 5. So that's going to be tough there. Porzingis, he's going to have to get his hands dirty down low. We know he doesn't want to, but if you want to go play for a championship contender, you're going to have to get down low, folks. So Warriors are second favorites at plus 225. Thunder, third favorites at plus 300. I don't think he's going to want to go there. I mean, they're not going to win a title. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's good, but that's the only good piece that they have. So, and once again, is he going to play the 4 or is he going to have to play the 5 there in OKC? The Magic are the fourth highest at plus 400. They've got nothing on their team either, and they're going to have a rookie head coach as well. Doesn't think he's going to want to go there. He wants to be a playoff contender, folks. Washington Wizards at plus 500. Once again, they'll have no big still. They'll have to still get a big. Daniel Gafford is all right, but he's not a tier. He's like a tier 3 big. And then the Chicago Bulls at plus 600. Now, he could go to the Bulls because they've already got Vucevic. So you put Kristaps Porzingis at the 4. That's what we're talking about. Zach LaVine at the 2, Vucevic at the 5, Porzingis at the 4. He's got to go to a team that's already got a 5 because he does not want to be the 5. He doesn't even want to be thought of as a 5. So we'll see where Porzingis goes. Like we said, this is still early. The regular season hasn't even, or the season hasn't even ended yet. But we are pretty much kind of, seeing the writing on the wall that Porzingis is not going to be a Denver Maverick next season. Somebody's going to have to take on that big old contract. Alrighty, and then the last story to talk about here, man, oh man, Blake Griffin just committed armed robbery, folks. I'm calling it armed. Yes, it's that drastic. We hear about Floyd Mayweather talking about legalized robbery, with that event of Logan Paul boxing him and just hugging him and going, 8 rounds. That was kind of lame. So yeah, that was legalized robbery, but Blake Griffin did not do legalized robbery. He did armed robbery, hostage negotiator involved robbery because he robbed the Pistons. So here we go. 20 games with the Pistons this season. Blake Griffin had 0 dunks. 33 games this season with the Nets. Blake Griffin has 25 dunks. Man, oh man, holding out on that Pistons team, holding back because he didn't want to be there, forcing his way out of there by playing like absolute garbage. And now that he's on a star-studded team that has a chance to win the ring, he's all, I can actually jump. Oh, I can jump. Oof, man. Oof. I thought I forgot for a second, but no, I didn't. I'm dunking. 25 dunks. Getting it done. Efficient from the 3. Looking real good. Looking real good defensively. Getting it done. Clogging up that paint so Giannis can't get down low. He wasn't doing that with the Pistons, folks. Come on. And they could have built something there in Detroit. Derrick Rose was there. Him and Blake Griffin could have rejuvenated their career, revitalized their career there, and been the main 2 players. But they didn't want to do that option. Blake Griffin didn't want to do that option, at least. And Blake Griffin kind of forced Derrick Rose's hand because Derrick Rose was like, I'm giving it my all here, but we just got trash on trash on trash here. So Blake Griffin, man, showing out here for the Nets just because he's a contender now. Little lame. Do I respect it? Kind of. I mean, if you're in a place where you don't want to play and you have no kind of, title shots, aspirations, nothing like that, I can kind of get it. A little lame in general. I guess I can't knock it too much, but Blake Griffin committing armed robbery here with that Nets team. Jeez. Alrighty, those were all the stories that we needed to go over for today. So let's head over to our Aaron Rodgers revisiting his 2010 championship run, and we have to start here with the wild card game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So we have the drives up, we have the film up, so let's kind of go through some of their drives, their scoring drives. Was Aaron Rodgers looking good? Was he looking bad? A close game out here, only winning 21-16. Was he clutch? So let's see what we get here. Reassessing Aaron Rodgers' one and only Super Bowl run. Let's see if he deserves credit for it. All right, so here we go. Should we start out? We can go start off with the stats. He did 18 of 27 for only 180 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and no picks. Solid work there. So let's go to some of these touchdown drives, and let's start watching this man play. So here we go. First touchdown drive coming in the first quarter, starting with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. 10-play, 63-yard drive. So let's cue this up and watch Aaron Rodgers. Was he the reason? We are looking to give Aaron Rodgers credit. Do we have to take away the credit for the championship, or do we give him credit? And we're only looking at this because, he's not showing up, and, he thinks he's better than everybody, and he keeps floundering in the NFC Championship game. So now we have to go back. It's been 11 years, 10 years since his last Super Bowl appearance. Yes, he won it, but still never was able to get back to the big game where we see Brady going there every single year. No problem. I'm in there. So we're reassessing Aaron Rodgers here. Don't love that he's holding out of the Packers. What more do you need? I think it's a little wild that he's doing so. So let's see if he truly does deserve credit, because we've been giving him credit for the Super Bowl win. But let's see if we have to take some of that credit away. So here we go. Let's watch this scoring drive starting here. We'll go through it quickly. Alrighty. Here we go. First play of this scoring drive. We're just focusing on Aaron Rodgers. Is he getting it done here? All right, first play. Play action pass, and almost picked, folks. Too high there for the wide receiver. Ball tips out, and the Eagles just, oh my God, slightly away from trying to pick that off, and they would have had great field position. So a little bailout there by Aaron Rodgers on this drive. Not the greatest. Let's see what play number 2 holds. 10-play drive, folks. Here we go. Play number 2. They run it. Oh, yeah, James Starks, baby. Yes, sir. 20 yards, 25, 30 yards there. Running game is on point here. We know Aaron Rodgers only threw 180 yards this game. Back to the run game on play number 3 at the 40-yard line of the Eagles. 2nd and 9 now. Aaron Rodgers running the ball again. Gets about 4 yards, bringing up 3rd and 4. All righty. Can Aaron Rodgers do it here? Can he pick up the first in the shotgun? And wow, bailed out, offsides by the Eagles. And this didn't even look like, kind of Aaron Rodgers classic, hot, to get you offsides. It looks like they just moved. Yeah, I mean, that's not Aaron Rodgers. That's not Aaron Rodgers drawing him offsides. That's just the bailout there. Bailed out. Once again, Aaron Rodgers bailed out. We're taking note of all his throws here. Every single throw that he made on the scoring drives, that's what we're going to start assessing. So let's start getting this up here. Let me start the notes. I got to do the notes now. All right, in the Eagles game, pass 1, incomplete, potential pick. And then the second for 3rd and 4. Bailout offsides. Not caused by him. So not great so far for Aaron Rodgers. I'm ready to take away credit, folks. I'm ready to take away Aaron Rodgers' credit. I don't care. Here we go. Let's keep going here. They pick up the first because of the offsides. But they've just been running the ball here on this drive. It's not Aaron Rodgers. This is not Aaron Rodgers doing it. But here we go. 1st and 10. On the Eagles' 30-yard line, they go back to the running game. 2 yards, 3 yards officially. 2nd and 7. Aaron Rodgers dropping back, and he just hits the check down of the running back, and he does the rest to pick up the first down. So we got check down. His 3rd pass. Check down. Okay. Not so great so far. They pick up the first, though. James Starks, once again, doing it all here in this game. On this scoring drive, at least. Another first down here at the Eagles' 20. They run the ball. Picks up 2-3 yards to officially 2nd and 8. In the red zone now, Aaron. Let's see you do it. Let's see you get it done. Here we go. Check down to James Starks. Immediate check down to James Starks for 1 yard. Another check down. Are we seeing it here yet, folks? But, you know, it's all the team. It's never Aaron Rodgers. He's never the one that makes the mistakes. He's never the one that they lose the game because of. Now we get 3rd and 7. Here we go. Let's see Aaron Rodgers sling it in the touchdown. Here we go. 2nd and 7 in the red zone from the 16-yard line. Dropping back. There we go. That's a nice strike right there. Picks up the first down. I'll give him that pass. A solid pass there. 8 yards. Picks up the first down. That's what we're talking about. So I'll give him this one. I'll give him first down pass in the red zone. Alrighty. Let's keep going. They're officially inside the 10 now. All right, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line, 7-yard line. Play action pass. And there we go. All righty, wide open wide receiver right there. Puts it right on them, and that's Crabtree, baby. All righty, a solid touchdown pass. I'll give him credit. All righty. That's the one drive that they scored a touchdown on. All right, let's go back to the drive chart here. They go and get another touchdown on their following drive, so we'll go up to that. That's going to start at, what do we got that starting at? 12:21. 12:21. Let's get that up in the 2nd quarter. All righty. Little bit of a bailout there on the first drive. Running game doing most of the work. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers is looking like on the 2nd drive. Starting, I mean, what great field position to start with. I mean, they're starting at their own 43-yard line. Jeez. All righty, here we go. 1st and 10. They run the ball. James Starks, 5 yards, 6 yards officially. 2nd and 4. Back to the running game. Picks up about 3 yards. Looking at 3rd and 1 now. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers does on 3rd and 1. They run the ball. 1st down. Almost fumbled it. But they get back on top of it. He did lose it and got back on top of it. Once again, a little bit of a bailout there by the Packers overall. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. 3 straight rushes for the 1st down. Aaron Rodgers, check down out of the backfield to the running back, fullback for 8 yards. Check down. Man's the check down king out here. Let's keep going. 2nd and 2, picked up 8 yards officially. 2nd and 2, Aaron Rodgers running the ball. Goes nowhere because they're just playing the run. 3rd and 2 now. They trust in Aaron Rodgers to pick this up. Check down king. Play action. Steps up in the pocket. Check down. And picks up the 1st. All right. I'm not going to judge that check down too harshly. Just picking up the 1st. But once again, another check down. No big arm Rodgers here on, his. Who is that? Looking like Eddie Lacy. Look how big that man is. Is that right? 45, if y'all know. Number 45 on the, I guess I could look it up quickly. Not too quickly. I don't think it was Eddie Lacy. No. I think this was before Eddie Lacy. All right. Here we go. Let's keep going with his drive now. 1st and 10. He has to call a timeout. Didn't like what he saw. I'm knocking him for that. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Dropping back to pass. Solid there. 5-yard little hook over the middle. Nothing great. Nothing bad. Just average. Just meh. Picked up 7 yards officially. 2nd and 3. Back to the run. Picks up the first. James Starks is killing it this game. 1st and 10. Here we go. Look at this. Aaron Rodgers almost fumbled the ball on the handoff. Got back on top of it. Another bailout, folks. I mean, 3 bailouts so far on these 2 scoring drives. Getting them off sides on 3rd down. The fumble by the one running back there to pick up the 1st down. They got back up on top of it. And now here, Aaron Rodgers fumbling the handoff. Luckily, they got back on top of it. But, folks, let's keep going. Not impressive here. Not impressed. Average quarterbacking so far. 2nd and 12 now. Here we go. There we go. That's a nice strike there. Picks up about 8 yards. Good strike. I'll give him this one. Alrighty. 3rd and 5 now. Can he pick up the first here in the red zone? Making up for the mistake of him fumbling, and now has to go pick up the 1st down. Here we go, an all-out blitz. He's able to stay on his feet and run and pick up the 1st. So ran for the 1st. I like it. Felt the pressure, worked his way up. Didn't get hit, didn't get taken down on the blitz, and picked up the 1st. I'll give it to him. Now 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers scrambling around, buying all the time, and that's what I'm talking about. A great strike there for the touchdown. I'll give him that one all day, folks. Running out, escaping the pocket, felt the heat, and buys enough time to get him in the front corner of the end zone. Couple of bailouts, couple of good plays. Alrighty. Look at this. Who fumbled here? Oh, he fumbled. He fumbled. So they go into halftime 14-3, but then he fumbles on his first drive after halftime, folks. Let's watch him fumble. He got sacked and fumbled. Once again. Not a bailout here, actually losing the ball. Let's watch him here on 3rd and 2. There it is. Just fumbled, got hit, and Philadelphia gets the ball. What do the Eagles do with this? They score on this drive. They better. Michael Vick better take care of business here. And they do score a touchdown. Now it's 14-10. But Aaron Rodgers comes back on the next drive and goes on an 11-play touchdown drive. Alrighty, makes up for it. But let's see how he's looking. Was it all him? Did he make up for his mistake? So let's go to this next touchdown drive by them. Because now it's a close game, baby. Here we go. 14-10. Packers starting on their own 20. So no great field position. He's going to have to work for this one. Let's see if he gets it done. They hand it to James Starks, who picks up 4 yards. The man's killing it this game. Love it. 2nd and 6. Hand off the ball again. James Starks gets nothing that time, so it's going to be all Aaron Rodgers here on 3rd and 5. I'd see him pick it up. There he goes. Picks up the 1st, right down on that 1st down marker. Picks up the 1st. We'll give him it. Let's keep going. 1st and 10 now. Going to pass it on 1st down. Going deep, but I mean, what a low pass, and it's incomplete. Receiver was open. It's incomplete because Aaron Rodgers is throwing it low as heck. Low ball. Even though it should have been caught. Or even though it should have been complete. That should have been an easy pass to make. Low ball Rodgers. Let's keep going. 2nd and 10 now because he wants to short the ball. Hopefully he doesn't short his golf game during the tournament match. The match against Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson. Here we go. 2nd and 10. Quick throw. Not open. Incomplete. Couldn't get it in there. Incomplete pass. Threw it real quick there. But now 3rd and 10. Let's see what he does here. That's how he's looking here. Bailed out by a penalty. He picks it up. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers pump fake. Going deep. Oh, wide open. Bingo, bango. Great strike there. Decently wide open. But I'll still give it. I'll give him it. Hey, you still got to make the throw. He did that. Here we go. At the 50-yard line, back to 1st and 10. They're going to run the ball now. James Starks. 20-yard run. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic by James Starks. All right, next play. It's 1st and 10 from the 30 now. They're going to run the ball again. 5-yard pickup there. At the 25. Play action pass now. Aaron Rodgers. Check down. That picks up 10, 15. Oh, my God. Got them all inside the 10. Check down. Big pickup. 16 yards. Aaron Rodgers is all smiles here. All right, inside the 10 now. Let's see how he caps it off. Run up the middle with James Starks. Picks up 2 or 3. From the 5, play action pass. And he's going to slow run. Take it, dude. Take it. But, oh, and then they get an offensive holding. Womp, womp. Backing up Aaron Rodgers a little bit. That man is hesitant to run. If you don't just take off, bro, he waits way too long. We just saw that in this year's playoffs as well. Here we go. Just a setup screen down low. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Setup screen for the touchdown for 20 yards. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's what we get here. Nothing great by the man himself. So, screen pass works to perfection there. Picks up the touchdown. Alrighty, but then we get a couple of punts here. Look at him flounder once again in the back half of these games. A punt on 3 and 5, 6 and out, punting again. Let's see how many incompletions. We're not going to watch them, but we'll just talk them. Aaron Rodgers passed for 11 yards, 2-yard run, 7-yard run, minus 3-yard run, so not on his fault on that one. Eagles go and score a touchdown, making it 21-16. Aaron Rodgers on his next drive. Let's see. This could have been the game-sealing drive. This is where we'll finish for today's game of him in the second round, or of him in the playoffs here. First round wildcard game. Let's watch this drive because now it's 21-16. Aaron Rodgers back with the ball with 4 minutes left. Has the chance to ice out the clock, ice out the game if they score. But let's see what happens here. Starts at 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Can Aaron the Magician, Greatness Rodgers, can he ice the game, or is he going to give Michael Vick one more chance, one more crack at it to see if they can upset the Packers here? So here we go. 21-16, 4 minutes left, 1st and 10. Packers on their own 22-yard line. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers has here. Here we go. They run the ball. Picks up about 2 yards. 3 yards officially. Eagles call a timeout. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers at the 25-yard line. They run the ball. And it picks up the first. James Starks. James mother-loving Starks. We're going to look at his totals in a second. Once we're done with this, the film. Here we go. 1st and 10. They run the ball again. They're just chewing out the clock here. Not relying on Aaron Rodgers to do so. 2nd and 9. They run the ball again. Once again, not relying on Aaron Rodgers. Do they rely on him on 3rd and 10? You got to pass it here, right? Let's see what they do. Aaron Rodgers, or do they just keep the clock ticking? Don't even put it in his hands. Let's see. 3rd and 10. They pass the ball. Here we go. And he just gets taken down. Doesn't force anything. Doesn't take a chance. And he gets sacked. And the Eagles are going to be able to take over. But let's see what Michael Vick does. He throws a pick. Unfortunate. And that really ices the game. I just want to see the pick. And here we go, folks. Here we go. It is 21-16. Michael Vick is at the Packers' 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Plenty of time. And overall, Michael Vick is going deep and gets picked off in the end zone. But once again, bailed out by the defense. Aaron Rodgers, very last play, bailed out by the defense. Michael Vick had the opportunity. How unfortunate there. Michael Vick can't not turn the ball over, and he throws a pick in the end zone. So I'm not impressed. Was that supposed to be impressive to us? I'll give Aaron Rodgers out of 100 credit points. If we're just gonna 100 credit points out of everything, I'll give him 15. 15 credit points. That's it. Out of 100. Nothing great. Nothing great. The running game, what did James Starks do? James Starks put up 123 yards on the ground. Michael Vick threw the pick. Anybody fumble here? Aaron Rodgers fumbled. LaShawn McCoy fumbled. They didn't lose it. I'm gonna knock him down. I'm knocking down. I forgot about the fumble. I'm knocking Aaron Rodgers down to 10 credit points out of 100 in the wild card game on his Super Bowl run against the Eagles. So not great so far, Aaron. Not great. You're not as great as you think you are, my man. You better get your ass to that mandatory minicamp and stop playing around, because you're not that great as you think you are. We just saw it there. We'll continue on with the playoffs here. We'll go to the second round tomorrow. Let's go to the NBA. Let's finish out and close the show there. But Aaron Rodgers, hey, not impressive so far. Not impressive. Alrighty, quickly go over the NBA from last night. The 76ers and the Hawks, and man, oh man, the 76ers getting it done. The Hawks, hey, they kept pace. The 76ers got out to a big old early lead. Hawks weathered that storm, but then that start of the fourth quarter, the 76ers went wild. Who was it? It was Shake Milton that hit the 3 at the end of the third quarter. That gave them all the momentum, and then they just carried it over to the start of the fourth quarter, and the Hawks could never get back into control there. So I'm still liking the Hawks here overall for the series. 76ers, well done to Joel Embiid. And isn't that man faking the injury? Because he's looking fantastic out there. 40 points, 13 rebounds, getting it done. Seth Curry, the 21 points. Danny Green still only putting up 5 points. Cannot rely on him. Tobias Harris, 22 points, always reliable. And then Shake Milton off the bench. You got to love to see it. 14 points again. We talk about Dwight Howard, folks. 6.6 rebounds in 10 minutes, making his presence known. A +8 on the floor. Absolutely fantastic. So, well done by the 76ers last night. For the Hawks, Bogdanovich, a little lackluster. Only 14 points on 2 of 6 from the 3. Trae Young, 21 points on 1 of 7 from the 3. So the 3 ball was truly not there. They struggled scoring on some spurts. Overall, got it done for 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter they truly hindered. So we still like the Hawks here. They stole 1 game on the road. That's all you want to see in the first 2 games. So we are still Hawks believers. We are not jumping ship. Then the Clippers and the Jazz here. The Clippers playoff P, like we said, is in full force. 20 points on 23% shooting on 17 shots. Not taking that last shot. There's no faith there in himself. Kawhi Leonard, 23.7 rebounds. We got Marcus Morris trying to take the game shot and getting blocked. He shot 1 of 9 from the 3 for only 9 points. Reggie Jackson, 9 points on 6 shots, so not too bad there. Zubac, he had a pretty solid game. 11.6 rebounds, only a -1 on the floor for 20 minutes. I'll give it up for him. And then Luke Kennard, yes, sir. 18 points in 29 minutes, truly getting it done. A +4 on the floor. So this bench of the Clippers was able to kind of get it done here. Makes up for the lackluster scoring pace for the starters, but overall not enough to get it done. And then the Jazz, Bojan Bogdanovic, 18 points on 3 of 6 from the 3. We get Rudy Gobert, 10 points, 12 rebounds, a little light. He kind of got clogged up down low, only shot 2 of 6 from the field, not the greatest. Joe Ingles struggled, only 8 points on 25% shooting, 1 of 8 from the 3. Truly, this Jazz team was missing Mike Conley, that extra offense that he provides. But Donovan Mitchell goes for 45 points. Jordan Clarkson off the bench, 18 points, was the second leading scorer with Bogdanovich. So the Jazz just able to escape here with the Clippers, a lot closer than I thought this game would be. Clippers were able to get off to a nice hot start in the first half, getting that lead, and then the Jazz came out roaring in the second half, third quarter especially, and took over the lead, took over the game, able to hold it for the rest of the game. So, well done for the Jazz there, winning 112-109. Yeah, I thought this was going to be a blowout, but it was close, so I give Clippers the credit there. Paul George, man, I mean, close game, 3-point game, and he has the audacity to shoot 23%. Same thing with Marcus Morris. He shot 28% from the field. Like we said, 1 of 9 from 3. Nothing great there. All right, we got one game on tonight, folks. It's the Nuggets and the Suns. So let's get our moneymaker going. We missed both last night. We hit the Hawks +6. That was our sure thing. We lost our house last night. Truly unfortunate. And then we chose the Jazz -4. They win by 3. So we got taken to the cleaners last night. Truly unfortunate, but hey, you know, when you come off a loss, you're ready to hit that winner. So let's get it done. Only one game on tonight, so let's see what we get. Nuggets, Suns. Nuggets +5, Suns -5. The same spread as it was in game 1. Close game all game, and then the Suns really kind of took over in the fourth quarter. So for the Suns, or for the Nuggets, let's start here. Will Barton, a game-time decision. Michael Porter Jr. is a game-time decision. That's never great. And then P.J. Dozier's out. So I'm assuming Michael Porter Jr. is going to play. I hope Will Barton plays. They are going to kind of need him. Michael Porter Jr. questionable. Yikes. That's never really what you want to hear. And Will Barton is doubtful. So not looking great here. This Nuggets team, man, just the scoring pace just kind of dried up in the fourth quarter. Michael Porter Jr. truly couldn't get it quite done, and just the depth of the Suns is what's great about this team. Everybody's going to go for the Suns. They're all ready to rock. Michael Porter Jr. not being 100% is kind of shying me away from this game, honestly. I want to root for the Nuggets. I like this Nuggets team a lot. They got blown out in that fourth quarter, folks, 34-26 scoring-wise. Man, oh man, they got blown out in the third quarter, 31-21. I mean, they just could not keep up pace. And this Nuggets team, they just don't have that depth of the bench. So, unfortunately, I got to go the Suns -5 here. Chris Paul is rocking and rolling, does not look injured. Devin Booker only went for, what, 20 points last night? Or they're in game 1? 21 points, folks. That's a little light on what he can do. Everybody was just getting it done in that starting lineup, whereas, you know, this Nuggets team, we can't truly rely on everybody to give us like 20 plus. Facundo Campazzo's solid, but he's not a 20-point scorer. He's a nice facilitator, but he's not a great scorer. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. He doesn't do the points. He's a solid defending 4. Doesn't really kind of, you know, take over the game scoring-wise. So I got to go the Suns here, -5. I want to see this Nuggets team be competitive, and we'll see what they can do on the road or at home for games 3 and 4. But I think we got to play a little safe here. Suns at home, they're looking absolutely almost unstoppable, so we'll swallow the 5. All right, so that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. And, yeah, we'll do it all again. We'll watch game 2 of that Aaron Rodgers playoff run. Can they get it done? Can Aaron Rodgers look a little bit better? I doubt it. All right, so that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and we're back tomorrow.